Well, guys, here we are. I'm not very good at eulogies, but damn it, I gotta try. It's the least I could do, especially to honor such a legend amongst us true believers. Stan Lee died in a hospital in Los Angeles today. He was 95 years old. He was born in 1922, lived through the Great Depression, started a successful comics industry, and when that almost failed, his wife, Joan Lee, pushed him to try one more time to succeed. And do you want to guess what came out of this last attempt? Spider-Man, one of the most popular and fantastic superheroes of all time. Alongside the likes of Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, and the X-Men, we all have a Marvel character that we love in some capacity, and a Marvel thing, comic book, video game, movie, TV show, anything that was Marvel related that we loved oh so much. Everything from the first Iron Man movie all the way to some of the greatest moments, like the Spider-Man TV show. Let's have a moment of silence.
Gee, you're definitely not the same guy I've been writing about all these years.
Well, Stan, we all have to grow up sometime, I suppose. Even us, characters of fiction.
Are you Tony's stank?
Stan Lee made us laugh, he made us cry, he wowed us with his stories of extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. Even if their stories start out meek. Spider-Man was a high schooler before he got his powers, for instance. And if I may speak to Stan Lee directly for a moment, you hit the nail on the head with this quote. Entertainment is one of the most important things in people's lives. Without it, they might go off the deep end. You felt that if you were able to entertain people, you're doing a good thing. And Stan, I totally agree. Some of us, most of us, have had a dark moment in our lives where we probably retreated to a Marvel property, whatever it was, and we watched as our favorite heroes did battle with evil, overcoming insurmountable odds in order to achieve victory and save the day. And even if we can't fly, shoot webs, or punch through solid concrete, we all have one superpower. We all have hope. And we all have the hope to never give up. To never surrender until our goals are complete. And Stan Lee knew that. I think that's why we loved him and his property so much. We see a little bit of us in all of his characters, all of their perfections and flaws.
I think he's truly special.
You said it, Madam Web. And if I may interject with a fun fact here, Madam Web in that particular episode was actually voiced by Stan Lee's wife, Joan Lee. A woman that he was with for 69 years. That kind of love shows how great of a man Stan Lee was in his personal life, not just in his creations, of which there's almost too many to count. We'll all miss Stan Lee, and there will come a time when we expect there to be a Stan Lee cameo, but instead of seeing the man himself, we will be greeted with a black screen with white text that says, "In loving memory of Stan Lee, 1922 to 2018. And we will all be struck with the pang of sadness and depression once again. But we shouldn't necessarily just see it as that. We should also be reminded of the great man Stan Lee was. He rose up from his humble beginnings in New York City to become one of the greatest comic icons the world over. Your body and soul may be gone, Stan, but as a true believer, I know your legacy will always live on. Goodbye, Stan. We will all miss you."
Love seeing you two together again. You always were my favorites.